Global Dokkan just received a new legendary summon banner, so you know what that means. We now have access to the yellow coin shop where we can purchase any LR that we want. The thing is, there's a lot of LRs that are worth the purchase and others that are, in my opinion, not worth the purchase. So in this video, I'm going to go through each of these LRs and let you know my honest opinion. Now guys, if you've been watching the last few videos, I've been doing a lot of subscriber challenges, which you guys have been, really enjoying, so I do appreciate you for that. But for this video, I'm going to lay off the challenges. Only subscribe, if you're new to the channel, enjoy content like this, or really want to see us hit 15,000 subscribers. All right, we are approaching that pretty quickly, which is an insane milestone to even think about. So if you want to support, I do appreciate you consider subscribing. Also, I really do appreciate you being here, right? And hopefully you're having a great day. Let's hop straight into this video. So first we have Super 17. This guy gets a lot of slander in the community, which I understand. His leader skill should have been better. He should have been built to run on the GT Bosses team, but he's not. Now, even though he's not designed well at all, he's still a very powerful LR. And if you run him alongside other target Goku units, as well as androids units, you're going to find this guy is actually extremely powerful, both offensively and defensively, especially at link level 10. So definitely don't count this guy out. I do think he's worth it. I do think he's very good, very powerful, but he's just not what he could have been. And that's like the main issue everyone has with this guy. But again, he's not bad. I do think he's actually worth the purchase. I will also mention, for the record, that I do think new LRs, no matter who they are definitely worth it over dupes of LRs, okay? Because 500 gold coins you're spending per LR here is the equivalent of 2,500 stones. So you're paying 2,500 stones for a dupe rather than a new LR, which could buff a lot of your team. So keep that in mind. All right, keep that in mind. Next, we have LR STR turles. Now, I actually really love using this guy. He is very powerful. I have him at 55%, and even at that level, he's still, hitting 4, 5, 6 million attack stats. I'm talking about over 200k defense. Like, this guy's a monster, especially on each and all of these teams. His links are very good. He is a big bad bosses unit though, so you really want to get this guy to link level 10 before you really start optimizing him. And especially dude, like this, any unit with big bosses, you want to grind their links up. So if you're not going to grind their links, it's not really that worth it, but I still think turles is definitely worth the purchase. So please keep that in mind. If a unit has big bosses, please grind their links, or else you're just not going to be using the unit at their highest potential. Then we have LR Jiren. I do think LR Jiren is kind of like falling off a little bit. He's still very powerful, both offensively. Defensively, I think he's kind of lacking a little bit, but he's still very strong. Really good leader skill. The only thing with Jiren is the Universe 11, right? Universe 11 is a very limited category, especially on global. I know JP has a few more Universe 11 units, but if I go to Universe 11, I actually already had it. I don't know why I took it off, but this is the current Universe 11 category on global. I have every single Universe 11 category unit. If you don't have the full team, you do not want to purchase Jiren because you can't actually run the team, right? But if you do have Topo, EZA, Dispo, if you do have STR, Jiren, Pride Troopers, Free to Play Casserole, then yeah, I do think this team is actually not that bad at all. It's a very powerful team, but unfortunately, if you don't have all these units, then Jiren might be a waste of your coins, because you really won't see him at his greatest potential, I guess. I don't know. I do think Jiren again is really good, but I think he's definitely best on that team. We just still need a little bit more Universe 11 support, in my opinion. But again, I do think he's probably worth it. I don't know. I would say there's better options, but he could be. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I think this guy is okay. This guy's damage is it could look very good, very impressive. His leader skill sucks, I think, but the categories, man, the teams that he ends up impacting is what makes this guy worth it, right? Because the first few LRs we looked at, they don't really have the greatest amount of category teams, but this guy's 11 categories, and since they love to add new categories to the game, I would not be surprised that by the end of the year we have like 13 categories for this guy, right? So he's on a lot of teams. He impacts the game in a really large way, and because of that, I do think he's worth it. He's also very powerful. The thing is, do you want to have another movie heroes Goku alongside this guy, right? So If you don't have any movie heroes Goku, I would not consider purchasing this guy, because again, you're limiting the power that he could put out, right? He looks at his best when there's another movie heroes Goku on the team or on rotation. I forgot which one specifically it is, but he's still pretty good. I mean, I do think if you can fill out his requirements, he's going to be a really good purchase. Same thing with Vegeta. Vegeta's definitely falling off a little bit. He's not what he once used to be, so I would say he's probably not worth the yellow coins. But again, if you have every single LR besides this guy, then I would say pick him up, because look at these teams. Look at this. That's 10 categories he's part of. Otherworld Warriors definitely needs the buff, right? Same thing with All Out Struggle. Same thing with Gifted Warriors. So again, even though I would not really consider purchasing this guy because he's kind of falling off just a little bit, he's still not a bad choice overall. I would say for a fact, Super 17, SDR Turles, and maybe even like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan are probably the most worth it right now. Broly Chiline Lemo, please skip Broly Chiline Lemo, please. Same thing with Rose. I mean, Rose, again, his attack stats could look very, very powerful, and he does fit on a decent amount of teams. The thing is, Time Travelers right now is just a mid category. Same thing with Potara. Yo, Potara, people love to suck up this category, but like, bro, like, this category is not that great. Sure, you have the S tier Vegeta, then you have Vegeta. That's like the best rotation on this team. But until this Goku Black here gets an easy A, until these two Chads get easy A's, until, you know, this Gowasu Zamasu gets an easy A, or this Goku Black gets an easy A, I mean, Physical Caulifla made this category a lot better, right? But this Potara team is not as good as people really think it is. But again, when certain units, and this guy right here get an easy A, this category is definitely going to be looking a lot better. So, yeah, I mean, Realm of Gods, I guess he's fine there. I don't know, man. This guy's good. He's just not what he once used to be, and he can get hit very, very hard if you're not careful. So keep that in mind. Then we have this AGL Nappa Vegeta. I mean, if you're someone who loves World Tournament, I would say just pick this guy up, man. Go ahead and pick this guy up, because we know STR Broly is going to be very prominent, I think the word is, in the World Tournament. So you really want to have an AGL unit to counter that. Again, if you actually grind World Tournament, then I think this guy alone is worth it, because again, he is an AoE unit. Categories not really the greatest. Links are pretty decent. You're not really. I don't know if you're really running this guy on Space Traveling Warriors, Terrifying Conqueror, stuff like that. So for that reason, I only think he's just worth the purchase alone. I do think this guy is, like, as time goes on, his utility in other places kind of dwindles, unless you're fighting multiple enemies. And again, World Tournament is that play. So there you guys go. I wouldn't say he's worth it unless you're going to World Tournament. Then we have SOUI, 100%. Yes. He is still one of the better LRs in the game. So look at the categories too, dude. Yes, I would say he's definitely worth the purchase here. Pure Bomb absorbs Goku. I would say he's falling off heavily. His defense sucks. His damage is still pretty decent. He's really good for Rainbow Orb changing. But his leader skill, Super Saiyans, deserves better than that, dude. So yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he's really worth it. God Goku, I mean, after having this guy and using this guy, that I actually finally pulled this man, so I have first, hand experience with him now. I don't think he's really that worth it. I mean, in difficult content, he could look really good, because you're facing multiple enemies and his chance to dodge could come in clutch. But his damage, unless he's like link level 10 and has like 4 or 5 links active, and on a 170 team, like he's not really looking that great regardless. He's not a bad unit whatsoever, but he's just not that guy. Yeah, he's just, play the meme, right? He's not that dude. So I would say please just skip him. Kale and Caulifla, I do think they're still worth it, honestly. The 15 million super attacks they perform, all of the defense stacking they do, I think Universe 6 could definitely use the love. Full power can use the love here. Peppy Gals, Super Saiyan 2 rapid growth, like these are categories that are not the greatest, and that these two would definitely help out. So I do think Kale and Caulifla are definitely worth the purchase. And just a quick recap so far, we have Super 17, STR Turles. I would say, I mean, Tech Jiren, I guess, right? So the first 3, Gohan is 4, then UI Goku's 5, and then Kale and Caulifla is 6. All right, so that's 6 LRs I would recommend out of all of these so far. Full Power Frieza, no, until he gets his EZA. Androids, no. I love this Broly, man, but he needs defense at the start of turn for him to be really good, because he only gets attack and defense on super attack, which is fine. But if he got defense at the start of turn, and then maybe got like an additional attack and defense plus like 50% when facing like hybrids or pure Saiyans, and he would be very powerful. But his categories, as you guys can see, are very expansive here. His links are also pretty decent, so you know, Broly, honestly, man, is not worth it. But you know, when he gets some type of awakening, or not awakening, sorry, EZA, or yeah, Extreme Z awakening, he'll end up being really good. I think GT Trio, I would not say they're worth it, but I do think they're slightly underrated. Even though they're only on 4 categories, this unit can really get the job done and leads literally one of the most free-to-play teams in this game. You will find that every single LR on this team is literally free-to-play, excluding the Dragon Ball Seekers unit, right? This team is very, very, very... Actually, I guess we have these 2 new LRs, right? But besides these 2 and the GT Trio, all of these LRs are free. This is a very free-to-play friendly category. So because of that, I do think they have some value. Their, you know, their leader skill being 4 key and 170 is also very, very strong. I do think they're still a little bit underrated, but I don't think they're really worth it, if that makes sense, right? Baby, no, but this guy will be getting easy eventually, and will also be getting a Dokkan Fest baby to go alongside him, which will make him look a lot better probably. And we'll also probably get some type of corroded body and mind 3 key 40% support, which also will make this guy look a lot better. So even though he's not the greatest right now, I don't think he's worth it, but he'll probably get buffed in the near future. Trunks and Mai, I don't think they're worth it. They're not bad. I just don't think they're really impacting you know, your box like that. Goku and Frieza 100%, definitely worth it. Cell, this Cell is actually not as bad as, you know, people once believed he was, but I mean, the thing is, you have to link level him, right? If you buy him and don't link level him, he's gonna look completely mid to you. Completely mid. You want to get this guy's links done. Then we have Bardock is actually really good now, so I would say he probably is worth the purchase if you haven't considered doing so already. Beerus, no. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, no. Bojack, I would say, is 100% worth it if you have S tier Bojack. If you have S tier Bojack to pair with this guy, and you're determined to get this guy to link level 10, then I'm telling you right now, even at 55%, my Bojack is looking like a monster because of just the powerful links that they share, the support, everything. Like, you really, really, really want to prioritize this guy's links, but he's still very powerful even to this day. Then we have Mighty Mask, no. Trunks, no. Honestly, okay, Mighty Mask, Trunks, Goku Black, Broly, and actually, Mighty Mask, Trunks, and Goku Black. These 3 right here, they're gonna get EZAs eventually, right? At some point, we're gonna see EZAs for these chads, and they could end up being one of the better LRs in the game. So purchasing wow, I can't speak. Purchasing them now could be worth it. But I think if you're going to purchase them for their eventual EZA, you might as well just wait to see what they do, right? Because the last thing you want to do is spend your 500 coins on this Trunks, and then he ends up being mid for his EZA, but Goku Black ends up being disgustingly good, and you miss out your chance on purchasing Goku Black, right? So I would say just wait to see what these units do. But these last 2 down here, I would say they're still worth it. I mean, they all have EZAs now. Gohan isn't really the greatest. So his EZA is actually out right now, right? So is it out right now, or is it? I don't think it's actually. Let me actually check. Is it out right now, or is it coming a little bit later? Yeah, it's okay. It's coming a little bit later. So his EZA is on its way for Global Dokkan, but even so, I don't know. He's good, right? He's a lot better than what he once was. So I don't know, man. Majin Vegeta, same thing with him. His EZA isn't on Global yet, but to prepare, I mean, you could purchase him, I guess. I don't know. Like as you do, the teams are just disgusting, right? I don't know, though. I would say Broly is definitely worth the purchase. So this guy is an absolute monster after his EZA. I don't know, man. It just depends on what you have, what you don't have, the teams you like to run, all that type of stuff, right? There's a lot of factors when determining whether you should buy a unit or skip a unit. So overall, I would just say that Super 17, turles, Jiren, Gohan, that's 4, UI Goku's 5, caulifla 6. Goku and Frieza 7. I mean, yeah, Bardock 8, Bojack 9, and then Broly 10. Those are like the 10 LRs I would really consider purchasing. There's a few others that again there are good, but always recommend to purchase new LRs over ones you already have, just to get the most out of your coins, the most buffs for more teams in the game. Like again, a new LR. Look, okay. Let me just like prove to you why that works, right? So let's say I already have Super 17, right? If I were to buy a dupe of him, sure, I unlock a few additionals here and there, but overall, you know, he's still not going to be performing anything too, like, he's not going to be a completely different monster, and he's still only effective on 6 category teams, right? So overall, I mean, he's a little bit stronger, but that's really it. But if you were to go ahead and purchase this Vegeta right here, not only is that a completely new LR for you, a new option for you, but now you literally just buffed by purchasing 1 unit, literally 10 different categories in the game, a lot of which are not. The only categories on this guy's list that don't need buffs, I would say, is Majin Buu Saga and Pure Saiyans. Other than that, you have 8 categories that could definitely use the help, right? So now you just buffed a tremendous amount of categories in the game and gave yourself another option when running those categories, especially in difficult content, which this guy is pretty decent on. So again, new LRs are always going to be more worth it than purchasing dupes. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe again if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.